Hey guys, I want to show you one of my favorite things to collect, and that is charm bracelets. I love charm bracelets. To me, they're like journals on a wrist. So here are my charm bracelets. I have a Christmas themed one, these antique travel ones that my grandma put together, what I call my college round 2 charm bracelet. I love charms since you can add anything on. I've got plastic jewelry from elementary school in this one, stones from this kind of alloy metal stuff from craft store, charms, and some of these are childhood jewelry from the Limited 2 and the Gap and just different little stuff like that. So I love that you can just add different things from wherever you go and all sorts of materials, plastic, silver, whatever. But this one right here is my favorite. My grandma put this together in the mid-1900s when she was traveling around the world for my grandpa's job, and there's just all sorts of stuff on here. There's the Belgian peeing boy, there's Heidelberg, Munchen. I know I'm going to just butcher these names, but just all sorts of little stuff. I love souvenir charms. They're just so quaint. Hopefully you can see these okay. Frankfurt, Nuremberg. Yeah, I know I can't pronounce anything. Mainz. I used to could pronounce things, but now I don't go anywhere anymore. So, but this little shoe, and just all sorts of stuff from different places she went. So this is definitely my favorite one ever. She gave this to me in middle school, and I ended up studying this sort of thing in, not jewelry, but international studies later on in life. So it's just a perfect match for me. Her other grandchild, she had a normal traditional charm bracelet with, the little baby bonnet or something, pacifier and wedding bells and stuff like that. But this one was a travel one, and this is the one I got, and I love it. I try to wear it sometimes for family holidays in the more recent years or later years, so she could just kind of see that I still had it and was enjoying it. But I love this thing. I don't wear it too much out, but I used to wear it to different events like embassy galas. I would wear this just because she used to live in some of the same cities I did, and she used to live in DC too, and I don't know, charms got to experience the DC life with me just like they did with her, except I didn't get to go to anything cool like she did. But I don't know, the designs are so old and quaint too, and it's hard to find these enamel shield charms these days. So they just have a lot of old-fashioned charm, literally, pun intended. So yeah, next up is my Christmas charm bracelet, and I'll show you that because it's festive. But my friend just gave me this thing tonight. She made me this mug rug type of thing. But anyway, this Christmas charm bracelet I started also in college, what I call college round 2. And I've been adding different charms to this for about 6 years now almost. And it's just really festive. I like bringing it out usually I just wear it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. But I had different vintage charms to it, and I don't engrave them, but it'd be really tempted to eventually. But for now I'm cheap. I just get vintage charms, so they still have the quaint style to them, and they're cheaper. So it's kind of getting a decent number on. I guess I can hold it still. Maybe that would be easier. Here's a snowman, little enamel stuff, the candy cane. I want some more candy cane charms, which are surprisingly hard to find. I'm still looking for this year's charm. I try to pick one that I know everyone says that speaks to me this year, but just something that seems to fit this time of my life and something that I'm drawn to. But I haven't found the perfect one for this year yet, so still looking for one. Got bells. I love this little tree. I think I actually have 2 of these on here. These little enamel trees. They're really cute. But yeah, eventually I just want to put at least one a year, maybe eventually engrave them, but I want to add some more trees and candy canes and colorful stuff. So I'll hold that there a second. I love charm bracelets where you can, lift one. Hopefully you can read them. That one just says Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. But anyway, I like how you can just kind of keep digging through stuff and find more and more. It's like you have to get to know the charm bracelet, or you have to, it takes a while to discover its mysteries, which sounds ridiculously cheesy, but I don't know, like especially with this one, you you can kind of see to something different every time you look at it. Okay, but anyway, I really like that. And then I'll show you my birthday charm bracelet. I started this one, it was at least a few years ago. I can't really remember when I started this thing, but I have it written down somewhere. I haven't added to this every year, but this is a birthday bracelet, and this would be kind of a fun one to let my potential offspring wear on their birthday, and just like a special day charm bracelet. I really want some more colorful ones for this, but these charms all say happy birthday, and some of these things are engraved on the back with random years that aren't something that I had engraved. I think it's mostly the Christmas ones that have random engravings from like the 50s and 60s. And let's see. Speaking of the 50s and 60s, my childhood, I'm not that old, but not that that's old, but I haven't been around collecting charms long enough to get the 1950s style. I love the 1950s style charms, like this sort of thing. So I wish I was around in the 50s in a way. This right here is a more modern charm bracelet. This is the bride one, and you don't have to use the loops to add charms to it. It's just like it slides on, and okay, that's jingle. I'll just take that off here for a second. It's got this on the side, a little heart, and this one is from 2008 or 2009. I haven't added too much to it since. They have filler beads to put between them because they just kind of like fall towards the end. So I definitely prefer traditional charm bracelets, but these are a whole lot easier to add, so you don't have to individually do the loop thing or mess with any of that. So I've got the Kansas one. I went to an underground salt museum in Kansas one year, so I got that. The New York Apple one, the O. Their charms are colorful. This one's Virginia Beach. I don't think this is focusing all that amazingly, but birthday gift. I haven't gotten one of these in years from them. Mostly because I haven't seen them in the store, and I don't know, old charms that you can sometimes get cheaper, and I'm cheap, but eventually I'll probably add to that again. Alright, so childhood charms. My childhood charm bracelet, let's see, how should I do this? Okay, I'll just use this. This one's the most dainty out of everything. It's one of the single loop. If you're going to do a heavy one like this, I would get a double loop at least, or triple loop charm bracelet, but this one, my childhood one, I put so few on there. The single loop, kind of dainty bracelet worked fine. I mean, these are with some pretty thin loops there. But anyway, I've got I can't actually see that far away. I'm getting old. Old Faithful Yellowstone. A random Who's Who thing. Just high school. And an eagle. I kind of went shopping in my mother and grandma's jewelry boxes, so this is from that. It's just a kind of turquoise colored stone in a bird cage. I thought was cute back then. NHS. A dog. I had a poodle as a kid, and she kind of looked like this charm. I don't know why, I'm really not sure why I have a horse. I took one horseback riding lesson, and my mother thought I was too tall and scared the crap out of her, so I didn't take any more lessons. But I think I just liked horses. That, or I found that in a jewelry box or something. A sea, and then an eagle. I found that in a jewelry box. And it's really fun as a kid just to look through like a treasure chest of relatives' jewelry and get to pick something for your charm bracelet. This is, I haven't added to this charm bracelet in recent years since it kind of feels weird. It feels like it's just like an antique tablet, like a stone tablet that I shouldn't add or mess with. But I did add this. This is one of my grandma's earrings that she gave to me as a kid, and I put one on this charm bracelet and then one on, I think, this charm bracelet. Or no, I made a necklace out of the other one. But it's just this fake pearl inside this thing, and I remember her wearing those, so I added that to this bracelet. Yeah, there's not much on this bracelet, but my second childhood bracelet was this one. I have a little bit more random stuff. I have a Christmas charm, and that must have been from the zoo. Oh, it's an elephant, wolf, candy cane, dolphin, North Carolina. Apparently we went to North Carolina on some trip once. I really don't remember it. Frogs. I had frogs as a kid once for like a week. I found them in my family friend's pool that I used to go to a lot, but they kind of jumped out of their container, and I was a new frog parent, so that was depressing. So I have a charm for it. I don't really know why they either. A little mobile phone, like the old-fashioned flip phones. Cowboy hat. I'm pretty sure I added this when I was in Tiny Town more recent years. A cruise. Okay, so as a kid, actually as a teenager, my family won a cruise, and so I got a cruise charm for that year. Usually I would get a charm maybe every Christmas or something from something kind of around that year. But the cruise we went on, we went to the Bahamas, and we brought another souvenir home with us. We brought a man back with us. And sadly, I'm serious, we brought a man back from the cruise. Actually, I didn't. It's a big shocker, but I was a kid, and for some reason, some of my family thought it would be a good idea to bring a 20-something-year-old guy who looked like James Bond home with us because he wanted to learn about my family's industry. So he spent the summer with us. Things not to do when you have a teen girl in your house. Bring home a hot guy that we called James Bond because he looked like it. So anyway, there is this little butterfly, and this was from a class field trip. These are earrings. I did this in more recent years too. In 4th or 5th grade, we took a class field trip to another state. We went to the Alamo. Like, it was we did class trip fundraisers like every weekend, and we saved up and we went to the Alamo. And a bunch of museums and stuff, a dinosaur museum, so that little turquoise thing was from that. And then a poodle, because I had a poodle as a kid. Let's see. Oh, this video is quicker. I've tried to make this like a bunch of times, so I'm trying to make it a little bit quicker. Oh, I did want to show you this little fireplace charm. I really want some more fireplaces, especially colored ones that have stockings. But those are surprisingly hard to find. I don't have any Santas because a lot of the old Santas just kind of look creepy. But yeah, just like the guy we brought home from the Bahamas. Anyway, so yeah, this charm bracelet is from what I call College Round 2. And College Round 1, I didn't have many photos from at all. I didn't have much souvenirs from. So College Round 2, I decided to make a charm bracelet. I made a crocheted blanket one summer. And I started hobbies like collecting vintage postcard stamps, coins, and charm bracelets, because I wanted to have something tangible to have as a hobby and something tangible to remember that time in my life, since College Round 2 was pretty much the favorite time of my life ever. And yeah, but I'm really not sure where to start. There's over 100 charms on here, and like, here's a plastic one. This is from a bracelet from 4th or 5th grade. It's 101 Dalmatians. It's just plastic. I took it off that. Here's Inner Harbor, and that used to be my haven. When I lived in DC, I'd go to Inner Harbor for the day and take a water taxi, and that'd be my kind of ghetto cruise. I'd just ride the water taxi around all day. It's kind of like a poor man's cruise. This right here, graduation day, even though I'm still waiting that. This Switzerland beer thing. So I was in Italy once, and the statute of limitations over. So I accidentally, I wasn't 21 yet, so in Italy there's liquor in the vending machine at ironically the monastery that we were staying at had a vending machine of beer. And we'd taken a train to Switzerland to get to where we were staying in Italy, so I have a Switzerland beer mug on here. But anyway, so I got the beer from the vending machine, and I just wanted to, like, I don't know, try it because you could there. But I decided to go out to the monastery balcony, and it wasn't in English, so I accidentally set off the fire alarm to the building. So naturally, ended up trying the beer at all. I ran squealing so I wouldn't get in trouble, and away from the monastery, and pretended I didn't do it. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's actual fire alarm. Like, the fire truck didn't come. I think it was just like I think they just didn't want people on their balcony like smoking or something like that, or just safety issues. But they sometimes let people on their balcony, so that's why I was like, well, they let people up there last night, so I think it was just closed part of the time. I'm not that scandalous. Not that I'm going to admit anyway. Here's a 2000 charm, turn of the century. I can remember all that, like the Y2K fears and stuff. This right here it says junior prom on it, but I got it in more recent years. Just because junior prom was my favorite, and I didn't have anything tangible from then, so I wanted something. This is a necklace I found in my grandma's jewelry box, Scotch tape. My parent used to say as a kid, I can fix anything with Scotch tape. So like my toy would break and they'd fix it with Scotch tape. It looked like terribly ghetto, but that for some reason made me happy. I was like, oh yay, it's fixed. Like it doesn't have, clear Scotch tape all over it. It's like a teacup, like it's not usable with the Scotch tape, but for some reason that seemed to fix everything at the time for me. Mentally anyway. A locket from a craft store. This right here I got, it's just a vintage charm. It looks like the 90s or 80s or something. This right here, charm from Canada. We drove to Canada once on a charity trip. I was tortured in a charter bus. It's a horrible idea. They do make planes and everything. Here's Opryland. Went to Opryland one year, also on a charter bus. Or no, I think we were in a van, which the person with us was kind of driving maybe a tiny bit too fast and got a warning of a ticket. But she claimed the van brakes weren't particularly good. I'm claiming she's a lead foot. But it was on a hill and she'd never been there and didn't know the speed limit. A class ring. I always wanted a class ring in high school and never got one, so I finally got this. No, I finally got an actual class ring, just like a Walmart one, after the fact, and I actually wore that a long time. A limo. So my family's friend had... Oh crap, I just knocked the thing. I didn't even touch it. My camera stand's awesome. I bought too many charms, I can't get a nice camera stand. Is this still shaking? Oh, that sucks. Anyway, I really should get a better stand, but okay. So yeah, families, friends somehow had some affiliation with a limo thing, so we met a limo driver and he kind of became a family friend, so he sent him to do us favors. So some of my family picked me up in a limo from school, and like just general teenagery, like the girl I was waiting for I thought my mom was going to come pick me up from school, and so I was waiting in the kind of like school lobby, and this other girl was like, ew, whose limo is that? I'm like, I don't know. How distasteful. And then I got a feeling, I'm like, crap. What if that's my family's friend? So yeah, my parent gets out of the limo, and I secretly thought it was kind of cool after I had to go out there and just kind of be like, oh, how distasteful. And then I had to go out and get in it. But it's just kind of a fun surprise. And that guy was nice enough to pick my grandparents up from the airport. They came to my high school graduation, and my grandma pretended to be like, how distasteful, like mad that we picked her up in a limo, but she secretly and then eventually was really excited about it. This right here is a necklace that I got at Walmart in Tiny Town at like 3 a.m. after my friends and I went horseback riding in the city. We'd gone to another city and horseback ride around it, and we had a spring break, moving to marathons all weekend, and then we were goofing around Walmart and the arcade and stuff. So I got a necklace and earring set, and the necklace I wear all the time, but the earring I put on here just to remind me of that. A charm, I think it's an earring from a relative's jewelry box. In Tiny Town, I kind of got into sewing. I like t-shirt quilts. Those are my favorite old clothes quilts. So I put a sewing machine charm. Soda. I got nicknamed Mountain Dew Girl in high school because I would always get Mountain Dew from the vending machine and Chewy Sprees or Sour Skittles right before history class. This I got in, I think, Colorado on another charity trip. We'd do charity trips every summer. This is a best friend's necklace that I don't actually remember who it's to. I gave it to someone in middle school. And a pony. I think this one's actually from 2000. I actually don't remember where this is from, but at one point I thought my childhood charm bracelets got lost in one of my family's moves or something, so I got a new charm bracelet. I put a bunch of random charms on it, and then I realized my childhood charm bracelets are right here, so I just took that charm off that bracelet and put it on here. Antique store in... Oh no, this is a picnic thing. My friends and I used to picnic in Tiny Town, and we just do goofy stuff, and it was just perfect. Sunflowers. I found this random sunflower field I was driving along, kind of on the outskirts of Tiny Town, and I saw the sunflower field, probably trespassed onto private property. I think it was the school's property. There's this huge field of sunflowers. I'd never seen sunflowers set and rise like that. So I just hung out there all night, taking photos of them, and just, I don't know, it was really kind of magical. This video is not cheesy or anything. 2008 and 2010 were one of the favorite years of my life, so I got a charm for that. Here's a barn. Tiny Town, the school actually had a barn. So some of this just reminds me of that. The thing from the craft store. Oh, this is from my prom dress. It's from the straps of it. I made one into a bracelet and then one on here. So that's from my senior prom dress. I actually cut that dress up and put on the back of a clothes quilt, and then I put some of it in one of my journals. So that prom dress really got around. I have this baking thing. In Tiny Town, there's this girls group, and they'd meet, and they do stuff like teaching you how to bake. I'm like, yeah, we're not like adults or anything, adults-ish, but it was just fun. And let's see, here's a charm. Oh no, I already showed you that. I thought that was the Bahamas charm. So this charm bracelet I got in, I think it was 2010. But anyway, the charm bracelet had about 6 or 7 charms on it already, and one of it was from Alabama, one was the Bahamas charm, and it just had a few charms on it. It was this antique bracelet that had a few things on it that I could relate to, like the cruisy one was to the Bahamas, Alabama, one was of the most adorable people that I've ever met. Miss Gloria lived there. Crap, the stupid camera stand. Okay, hopefully that's not like ridiculously shaky. At least my whole video is not shaky anymore, but awesome camera stand. I got the bendable kind. But anyway, so Miss Gloria, oh, why does it keep doing that? Must be the headphones. Well, hopefully that's not. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe close your eyes while you're watching the video or something. Might be better that way. But anyway, so during one of my grandma's funerals, this Miss Gloria, who she'd known maybe at least 40 years before, somehow finds my family's number, calls us, invites us to stay with her. I think we stayed at a hotel, but she had us over for dinner. Oh no, we did stay with her one night. She was just telling me like, oh yeah, hot bath will make you feel better, and she like made me a hot bath and just, did a bunch of cute stuff, and I thought she was just adorable. So I was really touched at how nice they were. And then my other grandma, at the first grandma who wasn't alive anyore's funeral, fell and had like bleeding in the brain and nearly didn't survive that. So it's like almost 2 grandmas in a day, but thankfully the second one survived that, even though she's not around anymore. Let's see, this is from a zoo. This is in Tiny Town. I kind of got into life photography basically and a little bit of nature photography, so I put a camera on there. Let's see, this was a view. I used to see some monuments outside my window in DC. One of them was, I could see the Washington Monument outside my window. It was pretty awesome. So I have a Washington Monument charm on here and a Disney World or Land. My family dragged me to those as a kid. And a New York charm. And this other best friend's necklace. I wore this for like 2 years. I gave this to my friend Catherine in 6th grade, or maybe 5th grade. I wore this thing for 2 years, and all the paint came off. So I painted it with nail polish, and I'm not sure if Catherine ever actually wore that. This right here is from earrings that I got from the Limited Too. They have dogs on it, and the same thing with this little dog book. This was a necklace, and I wore it a lot as a kid, so I added this to this charm bracelet. So it has a dog on it, says I love my dog, and then the last page says the end. But I like how there's some like nostalgia for more recent years and for some childhood stuff like this and the 101 Dalmatian plastic thing. Here's pizza because I eat sauceless pizza all the time. And I've liked it sauceless for like a decade. I mean, just for years and years. This bow because I thought it was cute. Sometimes I add stuff just because I think it's cute. This turtle from Texas. I got that at the airport. A cowboy hat. People actually wear those in Tiny Town, so I got that. Here's the Bahamas charm. The other charm we brought back was, the man. The Turkish guy we named James Bond. This one's Walt Disney World. That's a teddy bear right here. My favorite childhood stuffed animal is a teddy bear, so I got a charm for that. And here's a SeaWorld thing. One of our class field trips in elementary school was to SeaWorld. So I got a charm like years after the fact to commemorate that. Here's that Alabama charm. Ice cream. Antiques. It's not the Washington Monument. Oh, that's Eiffel Tower. There's a Washington Monument on here somewhere. Oh, here it is. And fries. I got nicknamed Fry Girl in like 5th grade or 6th grade. My mom would bring me fries during lunch. Our cafeteria food was kind of not edible. It was actually really pretty gross. They got like cited and everything. It was nasty. Arizona. I went spelunking in Arizona and we saw some really pretty sunsets after we hiked ridiculously far, kind of up like a mountainy thing. I don't actually remember where we were there, but got this. I think this was from a necklace or earrings, some souvenir travel place. Disney. So even some of the charms, that I got many years after going there, it's still a way to kind of reflect and remember a previous time, even if I didn't have anything that I bought during that actual trip. This right here is from bangles that my friend Nugget gave me years ago. I just took one of the charms off and put it on here. And then this is a necklace I got at Walmart 3 AM goofing around with friends after just a really fun week of we made our own spring break, movie marathons, and horseback riding. We just did a bunch of fun stuff. And I really felt alive. So I put a necklace I got on there here, and I added I did part of the chain so it would be bendable. My other grandma's earring. Let's see. I don't know. I really like how there's just so much crap on here that it takes looking at it more than once to be able to really see everything. Oh yeah, that grandma who I'd show you the earring from, she'd always say penny for your thoughts. As a kid, I grew up with her and lived with her like my whole life. So she'd say penny for your thoughts, and then I'd tell her and she'd give me a penny, and I was a cheap child, so I really liked that penny. And it's just nice that she cared enough to pay for my thoughts. Like, I didn't charge her for it. She was just like a fun thing that people used to say, penny for your thoughts, and they'd want to give you a penny. And then they'd want to, like, it's a good way to get a kid to talk to you, really. That didn't sound creepy or anything. This is popcorn. Kind of reminds me of the movie marathons we had in Tiny Town. And I actually showed you everything? Wow. Feels like there's missing something. Oh, here's the Coliseum. Rome was really filthy, and we got stuck there, and someone with us was trying to find another person in our group, and we missed our flight, got stuck there for like a day and a half in the airport, and the person I was with didn't want to leave the airport. It was just kind of not my favorite trip, but at least we got to go. My other friend, who was part of the whole Tiny Town spring break, she gave me a necklace. I took one of the beads off it and put it on here. And a golf cart. My grandparents used to live in like an old people community, and they had golf carts, and they let me drive this golf cart. Let's see. There's a Scotty dog. So one of the presidents who had polio gave one of my relatives a Scotty dog by train. So I wanted a Scotty dog to remember that. I didn't know about that until more recent years. It's just a cool old-timey memory. A wine. So I did this whole adopt a student thing in Tiny Town. They paired us up with people from the community, and my people liked wine. So there's this wine and art festival I used to go to, or I was talking about going to with them, and they're like, I'm not sure if we should invite our student to a wine and art festival. So it just kind of reminds me of that. And one of the bosses I had at the time there liked wine, so we'd go to the wine place for lunch and stuff sometimes. When you take the coworkers out to lunch. It kind of reminds me of that sort of thing. What else? Here's Japan, one of the best things I've ever done for myself, aside from Tiny Town. Disney World. This right here is, I think this is from Colorado. It's another souvenir thing that I added years after the fact. But, oh yeah, New York World's Fair. I collect charms from that, and this is from 1964 and 65, and I have some old stamps, and I think I have a postcard from it from the 1938, 39, and then also the 1964 and 65 New York's World's Fair. I want to go to a World's Fair so bad, but there hasn't been one in the U.S. in, I want to say, decades. But I collect old stuff from there, mostly because I saw these two old coasters in a random antique store across the country, or many miles away from New York, and I just saw it. I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I decided to start collecting it. And World's Fair just sounds like such a cool event, so I really want to go sometime. Here's the Busch Gardens. This locket, I'm pretty sure it was from my childhood. It looks like when I have it on in a photo as a baby, so it could even be ridiculously old. A T-shirt. Some of my family told me a childhood bedtime story about a T-shirt, and I also am really into T-shirt quilts. And I made the first T-shirt quilt in probably 2008, and I've made a few since, and old clothes quilts, cupcakes, strawberry. But yeah, I'll just leave it here for a second. It's so fun to dig around old charms. I like jingly ones. I mean, this is pretty heavy to wear, but I have a safety chain on it, so it's less likely to fall off. And I usually just wear it around the house because it is pretty heavy and pretty jingly. But when it's this jingly, it doesn't. When it's crowded, it doesn't jingle as much as when there's like this amount. I mean, this one's just more noisy, and some of the stuff on here is like plastic, and it's just less jingly of object too. Earring. I don't know. I just love adding different stuff to these and collecting them. I have another charm bracelet going now. For each era of my life, I kind of am doing a different charm bracelet for each. But that one's not done, so I wanted to wait to show you that one. But anyway, hopefully this was remotely entertaining. And yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. Here, I'm going to put all this together. And the old-fashionedness. And then my second favorite. I love the Christmas. I'm a sucker for Christmassy things, even though I'm old and kind of dread holidays these days. But I love the idea and the charm and the excitement people have over Christmas. Anyway, yeah, hopefully this was entertaining. Let me know if you collect charms, and yeah. Okay, have a good night. Bye.